Hello everyone, my name is Kitetsu and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to do something a little bit different, a painting tutorial. I don't think I've ever done one of these on my channel, but yeah, you're going to have to forgive the lighting and the camera setup. My camera is really not made for this sort of thing. But yeah, basically the reason I'm doing this tutorial is because I think you can paint your Necrons really easily and you can make them look absolutely amazing with very little effort. And B, I didn't really like the tutorial that much that Warhammer TV brought out, so I thought I would do my own. Just to clarify on that point, I don't think their tutorial was bad as such, but for their battle-ready Necrons, I thought it looked like quite a lot of effort and steps to get a kind of average-looking result. Whereas I feel like for less effort, you could probably get more decent results. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to sit here and paint a model in front of your eyes. I've taken some photos of each step through the painting. With this camera setup, it would be a nightmare trying to paint the full thing. But yeah, I'll run you through the different steps of what I did. I'll show you the different paints I used. I'll probably keep Mr. Necron Warrior over to the left here so that I can show some pictures over on the right of the different steps of what I did. But yeah, I painted this a little bit different to the tutorials I've seen so far on YouTube. I actually started off with an undercoat of corax white. Now, you probably could save some steps by just undercoating it in black. However, this new paint, the Tesseract Glow, this technical paint that's just come out, it is incredibly vibrant and it looks absolutely amazing if you paint it over pure white. And white is notoriously difficult to work with and get a smooth coat. So instead of trying to get a perfect coat of white over black, I decided I'd kind of work around the Tesseract Glow. So if you wanted to, you could start with an undercoat of black, and then you could use something like maybe Grey Seer or Ulthuan Grey to paint in those white details. But just bear in mind it will be difficult to get a smooth coat doing that. So yeah, I started off with corax white, and the first thing I did was go in with the Tesseract Glow, paint the tubes, paint the bits in between the barrel, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. This paint is amazing, so vivid, so bright. And I also then painted all of the Necron's body with this paint here, Vallejo Gunmetal. Now, you don't have to use Vallejo, any silver paint will do, it literally does not matter. And in fact, this is basically kind of the equivalent of the, gunmetal paint that Citadel do. It really doesn't matter what you use, just coat the entire body from head to toe in silver. A brighter silver might actually work quite well for this, but just be really careful not to get anything on that Tesseract Glow area, because that is the reason you sprayed it white in the first place. After I did that, I went in with the contrast paint Black Templar, and I painted that all over the bits I had just painted silver. I left the gun for now just because I was super careful not to get anything on the Tesseract Glow. But what this paint does when you paint it over a metallic paint is it gives you this really cool kind of metallic contrast look where you can kind of see black and silver at the same time. It's quite different to just going on heavily with Nuln Oil. But it starts off looking a little bit ropey and patchy, and it massively improves as we go through. The next thing we're going to do is go in with the brand new paint Runelord Brass, and I painted this over all of the sort of fleshy areas of the model. So basically all of this body part here, the thigh, the arm, the hands, and the shin. For the face and the shoulders, I actually painted those with this paint here, Canoptic Alloy. That's another one of the new paints. It's a little bit brighter than Runelord Brass, but it still looks pretty nice. The next step we're going to do is to go in with Kryptek Armor Shade Gloss. Now, you have to be really careful with this colour. It's incredibly rich and vibrant. There is so much pigment in there. What I would recommend you do is actually water this down about 1:1, so 50-50 mix of each, and then lightly paint over all of those kind of so-called fleshy parts of the Necron. So leave the exoskeleton within and lightly paint the Kryptek armor shade over the head, the shoulders, the rib cage, and those kind of fleshy parts of the arms and legs. And with that, I would say your model is 90% done. There's just the finishing touches to do. So what I then did was I went in with the tesseract glow again, and I painted some of that in the eye sockets. I neatened up the gun with Army Painter Black, but it really doesn't matter which black paint you use. The reason I kind of went in with a proper black paint and a fine detail brush was basically so that I could really carefully paint around those parts of the gun and not hit the tesseract glow. Along the bottom edge of the gun and the kind of blades at the end, I painted those in my gunmetal silver, and then I washed Nuln oil over the top. That gave it a nice darkened look. I painted the rune on his chest with a bit of the runelord brass, and I actually did the same for this part of the gun here and washed it with more of the kryptek armor shade gloss. And the very, very final step I did was to very lightly go over the head and the shoulders with a little bit more of the kryptek alloy, just to brighten it up a bit, but I definitely made sure the recesses still showed some of those washed areas. And I also went over the other fleshy parts with runelord brass. You'll see it better in the photo than you will with the camera, but I kind of made sure to only paint them towards the top edge of the model. So if you look at his leg here, for example, I've literally just gone around this top part and kind of left it showing the original colour down below, and I've kind of patchily added it around the model. So yeah, you can't really see it on the camera very well, but there's little patches of it on the rib cage. And yeah, that's the model done. I then glued some rocks to the base, glued some sand on, painted that in my usual basing style, and that was my model complete. So excluding waiting for things to dry, I reckon you could probably get a unit of 10 of these out in maybe an hour and a half. I'm a little bit slow at painting. I'm sure there are people who could do that way quicker than me. But yeah, that's my tutorial. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed it or thought it was useful in any way. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I will see you guys really soon with another video.